Hey yo, what is up guys? Your boy is back with another wrestling video, of course. So, today's video is about the Judgment Day. And I've been wanting to make a video about the Judgment Day for quite a while now because I've actually become quite a big fan of the group. I think they're really awesome. So we're going to start it off back at their origins, obviously starting with Edge back at WrestleMania last year, leading into his match against AJ Styles. And a match I really enjoyed. I know some people didn't. I personally really love that match, and I think a lot of people underrate it, but whatever. So during the match, was it during the match or a little bit before, Edge started doing a bit of a darker character where he was in the Mountain of Omnipotence, and I think that's what he called it, his Mountain of Omnipotence. And it was really weird. I would have preferred a little bit more rated R superstar Edge going into this, but it just whatever. He wanted to try something new, go for it. Anyways, at the end of the match, Damian Priest helped Edge win the match. So they were aligned going forward. And at the next pay-per-view WrestleMania Backlash, Rhea Ripley joins the group. And then I believe they go into a tag team match at Hell in a Cell, in which against Finn Balor, Liv Morgan, and AJ Styles. Again, I believe they won this match. And yeah, this is kind of where the downfall kind of starts. So like during this whole period of time, it was really weird just seeing Edge as, I don't know, I thought it was kind of boring and weird, and I just don't think it was really clicking at the time. And what the group was supposed to be, they were supposed to be really dark, but they just didn't come across super dark. And yeah, and then the next night on Raw, once Finn Balor joined the group, they turned on Edge and got rid of him because the whole point of the group was to essentially elevate younger talents, younger wrestlers to bigger main event status. So, and this, after like that shock turn on Edge, the group kind of floundered a lot during the summer there for a few weeks there. Triple H apparently wasn't a big fan of the group. There wasn't really a whole lot going on for them. Like, they weren't very hot at the time up until about Clash of the Castle, because the whole time I was watching them, from what I remember leading into Clash of the Castle, was that when they were walking out, they had a really awesome theme song. They seemed like they had a lot of charisma. I'll talk about that in a minute here. And yeah, they had a really awesome look, and they dressed like a group and they looked like a group. Very different from like the Bloodline, where they were a bit darker and edgier, where the goth thing kind of worked a little better without Edge. I don't know. I didn't really understand like Edge. Yeah, so I think it worked a lot better with Damian Priest and Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley, who were already kind of edgier, darker people. So yeah, and then I'm like watching them come up for their match, and all I can think is if they look like they're missing just a fourth person there. If they need a fourth person, and then they got the fourth person when Dominic Mysterio turned on Rey Mysterio and Edge at Clash of the Castle, and he's become like the hottest villain in WWE since then. Not like the hottest, but on the Raw branch, definitely. Like the people, they just hate him. They see him. He's just an annoying little brat that you want to see him get slapped. He's a lot like Austin Theory. So yeah, let's talk about each member now, because now that we got each member established, we'll talk about what I think was like their best match and everything with the group. So starting off with the original member, Damian Priest. Damian Priest I thought he was going to be Money in the Bank last year. I thought he was kind of building towards main event status. He had a great run as the United States champion, and then he joins the Judgment Day along with Edge, and he's this really just cool Razor Ramon. Like you could just see it in him, like that cool Scott Hall where he comes out and he does the arm thing. So yeah, he's a really cool dude, and he's kind of funny, but he's dark at the same time. Yeah, so I really like Damian Priest. I think he's really cool, and I think his best match with the Judgment Day was that gauntlet match that he did on Raw, I think in January, leading up to the match with the Usos before Raw 30, where he wrestled with Finn Balor, and then Finn got hurt, and then Dominic joined the fray, which is also what I think Dominic Mysterio's best matches as a part of them too. So yeah, so he's Dominic. So Damian Priest, he also had that really funny line where Dom got hit with the mist from, I want to say it was Asuka, and then he's like freaking out, and then Damian Priest just goes, "Hey, something else could burn worse." Like that was his big advice. It was just like Damian Priest is awesome. Anyway, so I'll talk about the second member to join, Rhea Ripley, who she's kind of the first female leader of the group, and she is really awesome all the way leading back to her NXT days. I was always a big fan of Rhea Ripley. I think she just has a ton of talent, and I think she's obviously one of the top female wrestlers on the planet right now. So Rhea Ripley is awesome. And yeah, she's done a lot. She was part of that War Games match. She won the Royal Rumble. She's been feuding nonstop with Edge. So the Judgment Day again has been just a part of really, really big stuff, especially Rhea Ripley. And yeah, so Rhea Ripley's done a lot since just joining the Judgment Day. Obviously, I mentioned the Royal Rumble. And yeah, she's had a lot of matches on Raw. And yeah, so Rhea Ripley has been built really, really strong, obviously. No surprise there. The third member to join, I guess it'd be really the fourth because Edge was our founding member. Anyways, you know what I mean. We got to talk about Finn Balor. Now, Finn Balor was in desperate need of something different. He was just kind of upper level guy in the SmackDown side. I want to say he was, because he was Intercontinental Champion right before WrestleMania last year. Or was that Ricochet? Yeah, I know he won. He won the United States Championship, didn't he? Yeah. So Finn Balor, he was just kind of struggling just to get over it, especially as he just kind of seemed coming off kind of plain and vanilla when he was just kind of the ordinary man over on Raw, and then he would become the Demon. And yeah, so obviously again, Triple H, big fan of Finn Balor, joins Judgment Day on that awesome turn. And it's been just wonders for his career. He had that awesome line after the I Quit match against Edge, was a great match, and just awesome for the Judgment Day as a whole, which just really just defined them as the top villains on Raw. And he just had that awesome line where he came out and goes, "I'm too legit to quit." And he just, they come out and they all just have such a ton of personality. Every time you see them together, they ooze just charisma, and they're just so cool to see together. And yeah, that's one thing to say. Finn, just a ton of personality, and this whole joining the group has just really helped him just show even more of that personality where you can lose and get pissed off, and he's just a feisty Irishman. So yeah, it's been just great for him. And he has that new awesome theme with that awesome entrance. His first entrance was awesome, but it's even cooler now just how he's he goes up for the arm thing, but he doesn't do it. And he had that awesome entrance at Extreme Rules there and yeah, that face mask that he wore, really, really intimidating. Yeah, Edge calling them all a bunch of emo kids, and that they missed the MCR tour. So again, lastly, we'll talk about Dominic Mysterio here, the last member to join, and probably who's probably going to be launched in being the biggest star here out of the group would be Dom, and XCOM Dom. He is so great. The whole feud with Rey Mysterio going on here, where he's just such a douchebag, and you just want to see him get his ass lit up by Rey, and he just talking about his mommy, and he's just you just want to see him just get his ass kicked all the time. He's just so good. And talking about, what is it? You just learn something on Raw every week. I know I'm going to survive prison if I ever go, because Dominic Mysterio taught me about it's hard times on the inside. He dropped the soap, right? So yeah, he's been just awesome. And just such very, very early Eddie Guerrero-esque, and he has that cool, apparently he's really good with Conan, so he comes out with just the buttoned up top, and they all wear their little bandanas around their face. And yeah, so the Judgment Day, though they started off really cold and struggling in their first about 5-6 months there due to a rocky start, but ever since then, they've been a top act, and they've been awesome. And I honestly just don't have enough good things to say about them, because I think this whole group has been shown just so much versatility. They can be tag teams, they can be singles, they have a woman in there who's might be the women's champion pretty soon here. So you have all this versatility with feuds, and that's the other thing about them. They all have different feuds going on at the same time, except really for Damian Priest, but that might have changed tonight on Raw, where he kind of challenged Johnny Gargano. So yeah, Finn Balor and Edge kind of have their feud going, but Rhea Ripley had her feud with Beth Phoenix and Edge, but also one with Charlotte Flair going on all at the same time. So that's really cool that she has so much going on. Dominic Mysterio, obviously his dad, Rey Mysterio, or he always calls him your deadbeat dad. And I remember when Cody returned to Raw back after the Rumble, and Dom's like, I don't like my dad, and I don't respect your dad. It was just so great. And boo, you suck. It is really, really great. I'm really big fans of these guys. I know I keep saying that, but they've just done so much, and they are just cornerstones of the Raw brand right now. So I got to give just huge shout outs of love and praise towards them. I know there's not a whole lot of that in a lot of wrestling fans. They always seem to be so negative, but I don't like to do that. I like to come up and show a lot of appreciation for people. So yeah, I'm thinking about doing wrestling gameplay on my channel again. So I'm working on getting a caption card for that. So I might be posting some of that coming up here in the next little bit. So I'm going to work on that. So yeah, so thank you guys for watching my videos. I know I got quite a few views on my last couple ones. So thank you all very much for that. That's really kind. And yeah, we're going to keep growing here and keep becoming bigger. I have a goal of getting to 500 subs. So hopefully we hit that goal sometime. It's a goal. We'll get there someday. Anyways, peace out, guys.